Brooks Robinson, the Baltimore fielding marvel, once again makes a fine play. Mr. Impossible grabs it for a dazzling play.
Brooks Robinson, Mr. Oriole, was one of the greatest third basemen of all time, arguably the greatest defensive third baseman in the history of the game. His artistry on the left side of the diamond robbing hundreds of batters of sure base hits.
Would you believe that? Well, this guy's in another world. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Robinson won 16 consecutive Gold Gloves from 1960 to 1975.
He led the Orioles to 4 American League pennants and 2 World Series titles.
You take a lot of things for granted when you have Brooks Robinson on your team.
He was a vacuum cleaner over there, probably the best third baseman I've ever seen play in the big leagues, and it was a treat to watch him play.
Brooks Robinson Jr. was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas by his parents Brooks Calvert and Ethel Robinson. Early on, Robinson excelled at football, basketball, and track, but it was on the diamond where he shined the brightest. In 1955, a mere 3 days after receiving his high school diploma, Robinson signed a contract to play for the Baltimore Orioles. Brooks spent the next 3 years bouncing around the Orioles farm system before finally earning his spot on the roster. Robinson's stellar defense at the hot corner earned him his celebrity, but he was far from a one-dimensional player. In Robinson's 1964 MVP campaign, he batted .317, led the league with 118 RBIs, and led the O's to 97 victories. The addition of future Hall of Fame outfielder Frank Robinson in 1966 gave Brooks some much-needed help in the lineup.
The Robinsons, along with a nearly unhittable pitching staff, led the Orioles to a 4-game sweep of the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. While he was a World Series champion 4 years prior, it was his performance in the 1970 postseason that stands out as his finest professional achievement. Brooks hit .583 in a 3-game sweep of the Twins to capture the 1970 American League Championship. Against the Reds in the World Series, Robinson batted .429, including the winning home run in Game 1. But it was what Brooks did in the field during those 5 games against the Reds that he is most remembered for.
Grab ball. Great play by Robinson. Look at that. Great day in the morning. What a play.
Following his team's World Series defeat, Hall of Fame manager Sparky Anderson proclaimed, "I'm beginning to see Brooks in my sleep. If I dropped a paper plate, he'd pick it up on one hop and throw me out at first."
I just want to say the best ball club won, and I'd like to say that I hope the writers now give Earl Weaver what he deserves. This guy, somebody ought to shoot him. Nice going.
I played almost 23 years professionally, and I don't think I ever had 5 games in a row like this particular World Series. I mean, during the season where you put your hitting and you put your defense all together, I don't ever remember having 5 games in a row, and it just happened to be the World Series.
Appropriately, the phrase the Brooks Robinson series was used to describe the 1970 Fall Classic, one in which Brooks Robinson flexed his greatness. Brooks spent all 23 seasons of his career with the Birds, starting 20 consecutive opening day games. 18 times he was named to the All-Star team, starting 11 of them. He trails only Cal Ripken Jr. among the Orioles' all-time leaders in games played, at-bats, hits, RBI, runs, and extra base hits. Robinson was greatest on the grandest stage, driving in the game-winning run on 7 occasions. His fielding percentage in 39 postseason contests, .973. In 1983, in his first year of eligibility, Brooks was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Throughout my career, I was committed to the goodness of this game. In fact, I feel my love for the game of baseball overrode everything else. I shall do what I can to continue to make this great game of baseball and this world finer and better. This is a day for my giving thanks, and this is a life from which I want to give back. Thank you.
Columnist Thomas Boswell wrote about Robinson at the time of his 1977 retirement, quote, "From 1964, when he won the MVP, through 1970, when he was MVP of the World Series, Robinson was a living legend. Few players get to hear the words greatest at his position in the history of the game when they're still in their prime.